Cheers. Cheers. What do you want, mate?
Of course. So they're all free. Well, good morning after a awesome ride yesterday through Lake Isabella and Highway 158 in California. Fantastic roads, fantastic scenery. We ended up in Bishop for the night. We went to the Roadhouse for dinner and had a big feast on wings. We've now been joined by Hayden and Libby and their two daughters, so they're travelling in a van, which is fantastic. So we've got more people now. So today going to be another awesome ride. So today we're heading north on the 395. We're going to stop at June Lake for a swim and then do the scenic loop around that lake and Silver Lake. From there we keep heading north to Topaz and turn onto the 89, and we're going to do Monitor Pass, then head up to South Lake Tahoe and do the east side of Lake Tahoe before we head through to Carson City. Probably stop at Tahoe for a spot of lunch, and then we'll head up the east side of Lake Tahoe and through Carson City and on to Virginia City for the night. And we'll be frequenting my favourite bar in the US, the Bucket of Blood Saloon. In July 2025, 3 Aussie mates set out on rentals from Eagle Rider in Los Angeles to embark on what was to be a 5,000-mile, 21-day road trip across 8 states in the US, including California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Colorado and Utah, covering varying landscapes and temperature extremes. The intent of the road trip was to attend the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in the Black Hills of South Dakota and to ride iconic roads, visit historic towns and scenic national parks, and to experience the homely culture of the people. Well folks, we've just arrived at the beautiful June Lake. So just a few miles off the 395s, about 12 miles south of Lee Vining. Just picture postcard stuff. The boys were talking about going for a swim, but it's pretty chilly here today. Bit too cool to be jumping in. In fact, I can't see one person in the water. So I think we're going to have to give the swimming a miss. But it does look like Rod's going to go down and at least stick his finger in to see how cool it is. But anyway, let me show you this beautiful area. There's Jace playing the tourist. Just crystal clear. A lot of American families out enjoying this beautiful area. Beautiful day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. A few little scattered ones. So it's pretty crisp. It's probably about 65 to 70 at the moment. Got down to about 60 riding here when we went up high on 395. But yeah, so this is June Lake. Stunning. Loop, or California 158, is a beautifully scenic 14-mile drive in California's eastern Sierras that follows a horseshoe-shaped canyon along the base of the 10,909-foot high Carson Peak and passes through 4 lakes: June Lake, Gull Lake, Silver Lake, and the large Grand Lake. Known as the Swiss Alps of California, the paved 2-lane highway offers stunning views, especially during the fall for aspen foliage, and is a gateway to activities like fishing, hiking, water sports, and of course, motorcycling. This is the second time I'd ridden Monitor Pass. The pass is a high mountain pass at an elevation of 8,343 feet above sea level. Located in the US state of California, it's named after the silver mining town of Monitor. Tucked away in the east central portion of California, near the Nevada border, the pass is located on the boundary between Alpine and Mono counties. The traffic is light and the road feels remote. Located southeast of Lake Tahoe, the road to the summit is totally paved. It's called California State Route 89, or the Robert M. Jackson Memorial Highway. The pass is only 17.6 miles long, running west to east from Alpine State Highway, south of Markleeville, to US 395, north of Colville. Set high in the Sierra Nevada range, this road is usually closed from late November through early April due to snow. Dates of closures vary depending on the weather. Monitor Pass is part of a route taken by Jedediah Smith in late spring of 1827 when leaving California at the end of his first exploratory journey, the first crossing ever of the Sierra Nevada by a non-native. Smith first came down Ebbets Pass on California Highway 4, then continued from Monitor Pass past Topaz Lake and into Nevada. The highway through the pass was completed in the early 1950s, making it one of the most recent Sierra Nevada passes to be opened by a paved road. The highway project was promoted by Robert M. Jackson of Markleyville, whom the highway is named after, who worked for the Alpine County Public Works Department for more than 30 years. South Lake Tahoe, so quick lunch stop at Taco Bell, and now we're at Zephyr Cove on Lake Tahoe. So what do you reckon of this place, old fella?
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And the ride here.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Anyway, I'll take you down there, give us a look at this beautiful spot. Zephyr Cove. Well, folks, we've just arrived in Virginia City in Nevada, and we're staying at the Sugar Mountain Motel. Nice and neat, but the rooms are quite small. There's two of us in one, myself and Rod. Obviously, that's it there behind me. Virginia City's an old gold mining town, gold and silver, sorry. There's still a couple of operating mines here, but there's brilliant history. There's such historic buildings here. I'll take you through a walk through town later, but what we've got in front of me here is some of the old gold mined out areas. So that was a mine, that was a mine down there. So I've been here, fifth time, I think, fourth or fifth time. But yeah, just brilliant, beautiful old building down there that I'll give you a look at as we walk past when we go into town. So here's our motel, just here. Beautiful old building up the street there. So that's the old schoolhouse. Bike going past. Yeah, heaps of bike traffic through here, and this town once a year has the Street Vibrations motorcycle festival. So I've never been to it, but one day. So this is our tiny little room. It'll do. It's only for one night, but pretty old. So yeah, that's where we're at. So we're just walking down into the, I suppose you call it the business centre, down the main street of Virginia City. So Virginia City was first established in the mid 1800s when they discovered gold and silver here. So there's been many mines. So we're sitting at about an elevation of 6,500 feet, and all of the buildings here, with the exception of a few like this one up on the top of the hill here, at the top of that street, they're all dated like Victorian, so very historic buildings. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys around. I've been here 3 or 4 times, I suppose. 4 times, this will be fifth time, I think. But let's have a look at some of this history. New residents going in there, by the look at it. Old mansion down there. I think that one was owned by a gold mining executive. The history and stories of Virginia City are as unique, rich and colourful as the streets and buildings themselves. A person must see Virginia City to even remotely understand it. It's a living, breathing example of America's fortitude and the desire to achieve. At its peak, Virginia City was a thriving, vibrant metropolis of 25,000 residents. Located about 35 miles southeast of Reno in the Virginia Range and in the shadow of Mount Davidson, its hills made millionaires. Silver and gold was buried deep beneath her streets, and men and women travelled from all around the world to live and work. Miners pulled millions of dollars from shafts and tunnels 3,000 feet beneath the thriving town. The spirit of those Comstock originals still inhabits the places where they once worked, lived, worshipped, educated, and died. The 19th century mining bonanza that turned Virginia City into the most important industrial city between Denver and San Francisco was the result of the Comstock Lode, a rich deposit of silver ore discovered by Henry Comstock, part owner of the property on which it was discovered, in June 1859. Getting his nickname for only making pancakes for breakfast, Henry T. Pancake Comstock was referred to as one of the original finders of gold in Gold Canyon, just south of Virginia City. Comstock was said to have been lazy, employing American Indians on his claims, and was a fast talker. Since he was on the scene of the original findings, his name stuck almost instantly. Mining was a hard way to make a living. With 100-degree temperatures 3,000 feet down a mine shaft, it required deep concentration from the person at the helm of the shaft elevator. Needless to say, the people worked hard and played hard. Away from work, the people of the Comstock enjoyed performances at Piper's Opera House, which still stands today as a favourite for events and weddings. Residents also played baseball as a favourite pastime and unwound after a long day at Virginia City's many saloons that topped more than 100 at one point. The morning of October 26, 1875 would dramatically change Virginia cities in more ways than one. A gripping fire started at the boarding house of Crazy Kate, roared through town, fueled by the dry timbers and zephyr winds. Panic set in quickly. Buildings caught ablaze and mines filled with fire and smoke. Almost immediately, 8,000 people were homeless. The total loss for the city was estimated at $10 million. Luckily, the casualties from the fire were remarkably low. Restoring the town started immediately, and in less than a year, mostly everything was rebuilt. Even the International Hotel was reconstructed, which had 6 stories and hosted the first elevator in Nevada.
Cheers, boys.
How we going there, boys?
We're waiting for karaoke.
Take the whole thing over. Oh,